Thank you so much everyone for joining me on today's episode of Sessions with Ella, and it's officially 5 months, I think. Yes, it's 5 months since we landed Canada, and today I just thought to do this video telling you guys what I absolutely love about this beautiful maple country. Again, I feel like what actually inspired me to do this video, almost every day now you go on Instagram and you're just seeing unsolicited, I used to need to come abroad, do you see what's to travel abroad videos from people, and I'm like, what's going on? So I'm actually making this video for those who would like to come to Canada, okay, relative to all of those, you know, seemingly negative contents we see about people who travel abroad, people who are traveling. If you want to travel, you better just watch this video. At some point I'll also talk about tips for, you know, surviving and really thriving in Canada, but for now I just thought to just make this short. Forget the snow and everything you see online and everything, but if you want to come to this beautiful country, this is from me what I like about Canada. And just before I continue, if you have not subscribed to my channel, and if you're seeing me on your screen for the first time, this beautiful face, please hit the subscribe button right away. Okay, thank you so much. Please hit the notification bell right beside it as well, and thank you so kindly. Have you done that? Yes. Thank you. Alright, so straight to the video, you guys. What I love about the beautiful country of Canada. So the first thing I really want to say is, if you want to come to Canada, I think the very first conversation you need to have with yourself is, why am I coming? Let's settle that first, okay? If you've never asked yourself that question, then I think you should. Why am I coming here? The reason why it's important for you to have this is because in the long run, you are going to need that reason, you know, to pretty much keep you going sometimes, you know, especially if things don't go as you intended, or if things are not going as planned at the beginning or something, okay? Just make sure to have your why answered, and make sure that your answer is so strong that it does give you a sense of purpose either ways, okay? The reason why I said to be clear about why you want to come to Canada in the first place is probably because of, you know, this point I want to give. Many persons who are trying to find their way into Canada is not really because Canada is the best place in the world or anything for some people, or it's maybe the best thing that has happened to them in their lives or anything. It's really about the opportunity that becoming a citizen opens up to you. This is a beautiful country you want to be proud to be a part of, you know, and the fact that there is a very clear, easy, you know, pathway to citizenship, and in like 3 years of being a permanent resident you become a citizen. And even if you came in here as a student, from being a student you get your work permit, and then at some point you transition into being a citizen. I think it's wonderful, without having, you know, any sense of entitlement to this. I feel like it's a thoughtful thing to do, you know, a country, you know, allowing immigrants from all over the world and then making it easy for you to transition into being a citizen. I think that's wonderful. When you are a citizen of Canada, you know what that means to you. That's access. You've got access to whatever amount of number of country you want to go to in the world. You wake up, grab your passport, and off you go. I think the opportunities are boundless for people who see themselves having, you know, like global businesses, for people who want to be relevant across the country you find yourself. I have, you know, wonderful friends around us who will tell us, see, once I get I'm out of this place, there are better places where I want to maybe go make money and then come back here, but I'm gonna leave. I mean, it's different for different people, but I think that sense of access that becoming a Canadian citizen opens up to you is so good. It's good for you, it's good for your kids, it's good for anyone. And also talking about opportunities, right? I'm not going to fail to mention how great this place is, you know, for career placement. Now, let me just say this. It's not enough for somebody to come online and tell you, oh, I'm running shifts. I see that a lot. I'm working for 22 hours. I'm working for 24 hours. You guys, I hope you're not listening to all that and then it's making you get discouraged as to you don't want to come to Canada anymore or something. So let me tell you something. best believe that experiences for each person is completely different. There are ways to navigate your way around, a new country. That's the truth. There is the path where, for some persons, it takes a longer time. For other people, it happens immediately. There are so many people who got 6-figure earning capacity jobs before they even landed Canada. So think about that. So and that's regardless of what you're earning in Nigeria. Because trust me, a lot of persons are not living in Nigeria because they're not earning a lot of money. Middle managers are literally leaving their good paying jobs in Nigeria and just wanting to leave. So imagine you leave, you put all of those experiences together and you probably get like a 6-figure paying job here. And it's not just about the jobs, it's about the fact that there are certain areas in Canada that are still opening up. It's the fact that this country is still opening up as far as I'm concerned. There are still provinces where the population is just barely 3 million, barely 1 million. It's amazing the opportunity that presents to you, whether as a working professional or you want to have a business. It's awesome. So I hope you're not listening to all those people who would probably just come and say, I'm working 24 hours, I'm not even enjoying my life, we keep sending money home, people at home should also send us money. I don't know, the experience is different, completely different for everybody. I know that over time I'll come share a couple of our own experiences here in Canada as far as work and as far as all of that is concerned. But what I just want you to always remember is that people have evolved differently from where they are coming from. Skill sets are different, and there are different skill sets that you cannot apply. There's different skill sets that are transferable. There are different experiences that will probably be better appreciated in certain areas. There are certain experiences, but whatever the case is, you are given a golden opportunity, especially if you're not saying. I just feel like if you're earning like 300,000 in Nigeria, I don't know if that's even okay right now. With all the inflation that has happened in Nigeria in the last few years, I know how that has impacted businesses so much. How much more has it impacted personal lives, people's, means of livelihood? And the way the inflation is going, it's not like your salary is also getting, any commensurate increase. So you're basically, honestly, and what is 300,000 right now, even in Canadian dollars or like in dollars itself? It's a sorry situation. I feel like if you're not earning even if you're earning 500k in Nigeria, because it's like, and then if you look at it, the demography, how many people really will be earning 500k in Nigeria? But if you are, well, maybe you want to, if you don't have any strong purpose or any other intent for coming to Canada, then don't come. If it's like you just want to come and make money, then don't come. But I'm just trying to say, okay, the experience for different people is completely different. You don't want to base your decision on somebody else's experience, because trust me, if you maybe do a sample, that's not even the experience of the majority. That's just, and then there are other ways to just get leverage. Even if you probably have experiences that are not exactly transferable or are not in demand here, there are leverages you can get. You have leverage for maybe transitioning and then reskilling, and then the opportunities here are boundless. I'm going to take another video entirely, to shed some light on this, because I have a lot of people around me and I know how the experience has been for different people, as well as myself, and then some persons will tell you, oh, bills want to kill me. How can bills kill you when you know that you actually have to pay bills? Sometimes it's just a problem of budgeting for some people, and that's why they are trapped in that situation. Sometimes it's just people having feeling like, once I get into a country, I want things to start running. Come on, you're going to a new place, you're pretty much starting your life afresh, as it were. You might not need to start afresh because of some of the leverage that I'll be talking about in other videos, but the point really is that it's different for different people, and do not base your judgment or your decision of whether to leave Nigeria or not based on the experiences of other people. Let it be stemming from your sense of purpose. Let it be stemming from your why. If you have that locked, then you are fine, okay? And don't worry, I have a lot to tell you, I promise, but I'm gonna, don't worry, I don't even want to say much because it's not looking like I've been promising you guys, but I'm not, I have a lot to talk about, about settling in a new country, about tips for surviving in Canada. Not surviving, please, thriving in Canada, and I'm sure that we'll get into it. But for now, I also love Canada because of the immense opportunity that this country presents you. There's a very strong sense of inclusiveness here in Canada. While I know that, certain persons have, been exposed to some systemic imbalance, sort of, but that has not been my experience and the experience of majority of the people that are close to me. There is truly and indeed a very good sense of inclusiveness in Canada, and I think it stems from the fact that the people in this country are so warm. Canadians are very warm people, very polite, very welcoming, as it were. Besides, it's largely an immigrant country, so you would usually just see a mix of everyone from all races pretty much are represented here in Canada. It's what makes for that balance. So the people are warm. You almost never feel out of place when you are here. The warmness of the people allows for that inclusiveness, and the diversity of the population also makes opportunities here pretty boundless. Okay, so first reason, the people and their warmth. And then one of the things I personally love the most about Canada is the culture amongst the seniors. Seniors in Canada are pretty much a big part of the society. I mean, like, you go to malls, wherever you go, seniors are so independently minded here, and it's so beautiful to see. I think the first experience I had with that was the very day we landed. Bobo and I wanted to go eat something because we were really hungry, and we hadn't set up anything in the house, so we're walking down the road and we found this restaurant. I didn't want any snack, I wanted real food. So we got to this place. I felt like, okay, I think we'll get real food here, let's go in. And then we didn't realize that this place it's been there for so long. I think that restaurant will probably have been in existence for say 50 years or something. And you know how people have been used to something all their lives and they want to stick with it. So when you go there, you see a lot of seniors. My first experience, honestly, is not like the food was too great, not like we're having mac and cheese that day. I'm not sure it was great, but no worries. What I loved, right behind our table, we had this group of about 6 women, who were probably in like their late 60s, from late 50s to late 60s. And some of them might be even be in their early 70s, honestly. And then wonderfully dressed with their sneakers, and they ordered stuff around the table and everything. And guess what these women were talking about? My God, I kept looking back to steal, some look and just eavesdrop. I'm sorry I did that, but of course their voice was audible enough, so it's not like I was eavesdropping anyways. And then they kept talking about the recent books they have read, the recent movies they have seen, how their children, are doing in other parts of the country or of the world. It was just so beautiful to see. So apparently this is a group of like 7 women who are friends and are just taking themselves out on a date to just talk about stuff. That just gives you an idea of how the seniors are here. Or is it when you go to the mall and you're trying to maybe eat something real quick and you see this really old couple, like maybe in like their early 80s or 90s, holding hands and eating and feeding each other and cleaning. Guys, see, for me, I think that's the most beautiful thing for me, honestly. But else about the seniors, really, about the fact that all the shopping, they do it alone, everything, the sense of independence. In the workplace, you see like lots of people at the workplace are actually also seniors. I personally like it because probably, downsides to it. There are probably reasons why them are still working at that age and maybe didn't retire early. But the truth is that it's just a decision as well. I'm sure a lot of them are probably fine, but they just want to keep it going. I mean, it's wonderful. And if you are at the workplace, back home, are you sure you can see like a 70-year-old on your team? Are you even sure you can see? Are you really? I mean, like people who are visibly, they are seniors, and I think it's beautiful. That's the best thing for me, honestly. Okay, one other thing I love so much about Canada, obviously, is the system. And when I'm talking the system, I'm talking about like the government. I like the human face, you know, that you have to the government in Canada. For example, in my province, I recall when, it just happened anyways. Inflation has been on the rise, and every time things like that happen, you see government bringing like a lot of relief for different citizens within different earning capacity. I just feel like the government is both proactive and reactive, and that is one of the biggest challenges that we have back home. I'm just saying, you know, the government is quite responsive and it just really makes life easy for people. It's not perfect anywhere, you should know that. And trust me, as much as, you know, we will come to that point where we're appreciating things, people who have been here for the longest have so much to say, feelings of the government one way or the other. But trust me, well, it's not my personal opinion because I know where I'm coming from. So just learn to appreciate things. That's just it. Yeah, I'm almost always filled with gratitude because you know how it is, you know, back home in terms of the sense of responsibility of the government that you have. Okay, and also, I'm sure you guys saw in the news how so many Nigerians, you know, were winning elections. This place is a land of opportunity, guys. Nigerians were winning councillorship elections and a lot of things across different provinces. I'm sure you guys saw that news as well. That speaks also to the opportunities that we have around, even for immigrants. And then, you know, I think I love the system. The system is a working system where things around, you know, your tax, things around the health insurance. I know that pregnant women and delivery have things to say that might be slightly negative. The experience might not be fantastic, but then relatively, I think we have a lot going on in terms of the health insurance, in terms of the taxes, in terms of tax rebates, in terms of, you know, child support you get from the government. It's beautiful. When you have a working system and you're in a place where you have a working system, your prayers, you know, when you're praying to God, you're just worshiping and enjoying the Lord, you know? You're just loving on God, because many things that you should have been praying for normally have been answered and been fixed by working government. You know what I'm saying? By working system. So you get to love God for God, and I think it's a beautiful place to be. Okay, so yes, I am in love with the system that is working here, and I'm wishing the same for Nigeria, and I do believe that it will happen for us soon. Okay, but yeah, the system. One other reason I love this beautiful country of Canada would be the place. Canada itself. Canada is a beautiful country, honestly. I feel like the design of each province, of each city that you find yourself, the landscape is beautiful. I stay in Alberta, I stay in Calgary, and you know, here in Calgary, while we don't have all the beaches and all that, the mountainous view that you get, you know, from places like Banff is really beautiful. And not just Banff, even if it's while you're just driving, you could tell that you are, you know, this is a mountainous area, but it's also beautiful. And the fact that when you go from province to province, the experience is different. So I'm looking forward to, you know, touring like different provinces in the long run, and in a very short time actually, and then seeing, you know, the different experiences that you get with the different provinces. It's a beautiful place. Aside the cold, we'll talk about the cold later. That's another video, but it's a wonderful place really. As far as the place goes, I like the scenery, I like the landscape, and I think we have a beautiful country to work with here. Okay, people, it's been a wonderful time with you so far, everybody, and thank you for sticking with me. I love you guys so much.